Welcome to Coach's Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi. To my right, the Swami, George Abraham. To my left, the Tiger, Albert Campman. Guys under spotlight. We're into playoffs. Some teams have already played championships, so let's start with some title winners. The Knock Girls Tennis captured the 2A state title, defeating Swickley Academy 4-1. They also beat Swickley Academy in the WPL Championship. Congratulations to Coach Nancy Conklin and her girls on another championship season. 6 of the 7 players return next year. Only senior Ellie Bauer, who moves on to Lafayette, will be missing. You can expect more of the
Someone will
same.
slide in.
Not next year,
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
And congratulations to the Pine Richland field hockey team and Coach Donna Stevenson on winning their 4th straight WPIAL title and 5th in the last 6 years. The Lady Rams 19-0-1. They now get ready for the PIAA playoffs. And congratulations to the Montauk girls golf team in winning their 2nd straight District 9 2A title. And how about the Corn City girls soccer team? They are playing in their 15th straight District 9 1A championship match.
Yeah, I like you to bring up sports so we don't, that a lot of people don't cover, don't look at. That's really good, Eddie.
Our high school football top performances, week 9. Where did this season go?
9 weeks.
Zip.
It's gone.
Rushing, this kid's had a terrific year. He's one of the best running backs around. Hunter Stalker of Montauk, 218 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ethan Pillar of Pine Ridge, he's come on strong ever since we did their game against Seneca
Whole
Valley.
team has.
Yes, 174 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cody Mullen of Knock, 136 yards and a touchdown. Wayne Pert, Seneca Valley, we saw him Friday night. You'll see that game this week on Armstrong. Seneca Valley had 121 yards, and Andrew Gavlik of North Allegheny, 110 yards and a touchdown. Passing, Cody Mullen of Knock, 312 yards, 3 TDs. He had a total in that game, their first win of the year, of 448 total yards and 4 touchdowns. That's an all-time record for Knock. Sam Hughes of Riverside, 228 yards passing. Logan Kushner of North Allegheny, 218 yards and a touchdown. Max Schnoor of Butler, 169 yards, 2 TDs. Graham Hancock of Seneca Valley, 2 touchdowns, 159 yards passing. Eric Kasparovich of Mars, 126 yards and a touchdown. And receiving, Jake Murphy of Knock, 8 for 178 yards and a touchdown. Gabe Hine of Mars, 7 for 90 yards and a touchdown. Brady Newman of Riverside, 4 for 110. This might be the best passing attack they've had in years. There at Riverside.
Everybody has the best pass attack they have for years.
Yeah, that's the way it's.
That's why I said last
Just listen to this.
Yes.
You notice you get more passers and receivers than we are running backs.
I was telling my son-in-law yesterday, he said, you know how many passes Dan Marino threw in a game in high school? 12.
10, I know.
Yeah,
I was
that's what I
coaching
said.
them.
That's what I said. So don't even, it's amazing.
Kyron Boyd of North Allegheny, 5 receptions, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pass, 1 rush. Jackson Bauman of Knox, 6 for 51. Luke Lawson of Seneca Valley, 5 for 59. Anthony Berlotta of North Allegheny, 4 for 60. And Brady Stevenson of Freeport, 3 for 61. Our high school football playoffs, 6A semis. I had some of that wrong.
How about we struggle with that one?
We struggled because we didn't realize the Gardner points, how much it came in. But everyone gets a bye. They don't, because of the fewer number of teams, so they don't play till November the 11th. They go right to the semis. It will be Cannon Mac 5-5 at the conference champs. Congratulations, North Allegheny 9-1, 4-0 in the conference. First meeting, North Allegheny won 35-21. The Tigers looking for their first title since 2013. Central Catholic, look out, they come on strong, 6-4. They will be at Mount Lebanon 5-5. In the first meeting, Mount Lebanon kicked a field goal with a second left to beat them 16-14.
They were down 14-0.
Yeah, came storming back.
I talked to somebody in Ohio, Eddie.
Yeah.
And they said, wait a minute, you're bragging about this old WPAL. Tell me again about this 6A. I said, oh no. There's 4 teams playing, and they play each other every game.
Yeah.
He said, what is it? I said, that's how bad it is. That's all I could say.
Because
it's so pathetic that they're playing each other again.
When Amy Schooneman, the last director of the WPL executive director, they sent out a memo asking the WPL athletic directors, do you want to go to 4 classifications, no state playoffs? That way you'd go back to 4A, you'd have more teams. they voted it down.
I know.
So they have no one to blame.
So
but
people outside of
themselves.
see, we just talk about it because that's we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people outside think
Five
this is
teams.
the biggest
What kind of
joke.
playoff's that?
It's not a playoff.
No.
It's not. It's nothing. It's
not a
It
playoff.
makes you sick. I
Yeah.
can't.
No, you're going to win 2 games and be the champ.
It's like square dancing. Here we
It
go.
is.
2 teams
All right.
already beat.
All right.
You
and-
already played them all. Yeah.
And the game we did Friday night, it was a terrific game, 27-26. North Allegheny came back to beat Seneca Valley. This Seneca Valley team loaded with seniors, and I'm going to say this, having coached against them at Butler and NA and doing a number of their games over the years, the past 17 years, this might be one of the most talented teams they've ever had. You can make an argument that they deserve to be in the playoffs.
They do deserve to be in the
lost-
playoffs.
Yeah, the tough games they lost. Look at the players they have. Aiden Leitchik had a terrific game on defense. Luke Lawson, he's been a great two-way player. Christy Apolloni, he's gone to Toledo. Those 2 previous guys to Navy. Then you have junior offensive tackle Roman Royal, 6'5", 285, and a quarterback Graham Hancock, 6'4", 228. He's going to play somewhere. I thought they were my favorite to win the WPIL. And with the talent they have this year, and they're not even in the playoffs, I don't know when they get another chance like this.
Yeah, and a lot of things had to go wrong that did. And it happens
Yeah.
every year to some. Everything goes right for some team. Everything goes wrong for that. Like we watched that game. Seneca Valley should have won
Three
the game.
turnovers.
Seneca Valley should have won that game. If they don't run the flea flicker,
Yeah.
that play
That
turned the
was
whole game
that
around.
killed.
Yeah.
After they did a goal line stand where NA had a 1st and goal to 2, and Seneca Valley stuffed them. They start off with a flea flicker, intercepted at the 37.
Defense had
It
right on the
ju-
field
just,
again.
It just changed the game.
I-
It deflated Seneca Valley.
I heard Peyton Manning say that last week. A team ran a RPO to the wide receiver, and they collided and draw. And he said, "How many times do you think they practiced that?"
Well, three turnovers led to 2 North Allegheny touchdowns.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
then the first touchdown, second touchdown it was Graham Hancock's, but he spiked the ball. So instead of kicking a normal extra, they're kicking
yeah.
a 35-yard extra point. They miss it. Then it was 19-14. Albert said, "Don't chase points." They did. They missed that. So he ended up losing by 1 point.
Yes, it's really frustrating when you see a good team like that not in the playoffs.
Yeah, they had 12 penalties for 104 yards. So that's the other thing that killed them. Hey, let's mention the outstanding players from North Allegheny. Running back Andrew Gavlik, the senior. Everyone else I'm mentioning is their junior. This is a junior-laden team. Kyron Boyd, I think he's one of the best defensive backs. Seneca Valley challenged him a number of times, and he was up to the task. Defensive end Daniel Sellers, what a great game he
What a great
had.
game he had.
And quarterback Logan Kushner, and I forgot to mention that middle linebacker, T.J. Border for Seneca Valley.
Yeah, go back to NA. We talked about Seneca Valley. I want to give credit to NA. They find, they
absolutely.
find a way all the time. They haven't won a championship in a long time, George. Is that correct?
7 years.
Since 2013.
Oh, 9 years.
I think it's 9.
But when you say their name, you still think, look out.
And they're loaded. They're all juniors.
Yes,
Wait next
And
year.
you've already stated who they're going to have to beat. There's only 4 teams.
Jeez, that's right.
Right. It's a problem. Hey, in 5A, conference champs Pine Ridge in 7-3. They won 6 in a row. We did the last time they lost. That was against Seneca Valley 13-3. They host Penn Trafford this week, and in 4A, Mars 6-4. Ouch. They're at McKeesport 10-0.
McKeesport got beat by Thomas Jefferson. I watched McKeesport.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Okay.
I watched McKeesport, and they're not as good as I thought they were. Thomas Jefferson beat them up.
They do that.
Beat them up. And Thomas Jefferson's dangerous in that with Central Valley and all.
And let's say this about Mars and Eric Kasparovich, his first year, did a terrific job his first year.
You think he did?
They're going to get better. I think they did.
I didn't think he did.
He took over from a 2-8 team and went 6-4.
Yeah, but I think he took the job thinking he was going to go 8-2, and
well, not with that
Yeah,
schedule.
you know-
Not with playing Armstrong and Highlands.
but they got Newcastle and that crew and that group. You got four built-in wins too. The guy that did a good job was Pine Richland.
Oh, tremendous!
No.
1-3.
Everybody just wrote him off when he was there.
When they were
just
1-3.
they stink. He can't do the job.
Right.
They went off the tracks early.
And he made the change.
Right.
See,
He
but it's not easy to make changes.
Putting Paul
Yes, he
Mary
did.
back
He made the change.
at tailback.
Yes, and you know,
And they amped up the running game.
the Pine Richland families were saying, "What's he doing making these changes? What's he trying to do?"
They're
they
like
wanted
a
to run
lot
him
of
out.
fans that win. They're
Well,
spoiled.
they wanted to run him out.
Yeah.
They wanted to run him out immediately.
Hey, in 3A, congratulations to Freeport 9-1. They get it by their 13th conference championship, their 32nd trip to the playoffs. You talk about a consistent program down through the years. You're talking about Freeport. And in 2A, Riverside at Stowe Rocks.
Best team.
Tough one.
That's the best team.
Hey, in District 9, 2A, Karnes City 6-4 at Brookville, and in 1A, Union AC Valley 5-5 there at Keystone, and District 10, 3A, Slippery Rock High School 6-4 at Oil City, with the District 10's leading running back there. What did he rush for 2,000 yards this year?
Amazing stats.
His numbers are huge.
Amazing
Rock won't
stats.
be easy out.
And in District 10, 6A, Butler lost, but they won. They lost to Latrobe 28-14, their fifth straight loss. And during that scan, they were outscored 196-65. But in the Butler Court of Common Pleas, the Butler judge ruled in favor of Butler to meet McDowell in the playoffs. So Butler 4-6 will travel to McDowell to meet McDowell 8-2. McDowell beat him in the first meeting 48-24. Guys, is this how we want who plays decided in the courtroom and not on the gridiron or in the basketball court?
You saw me laughing, didn't you? I had to laugh because think of us, all three of us coaches. If they came to us and said, "Hey, coach, you just lost 5 in a row, but we're going to get you in," I'd have said, "No, we don't deserve to be in." I mean that sincerely.
Yeah.
I could not have looked at my kids honestly and said, "Do we deserve to be in here?"
Well,
and they've got better.
Yeah.
Butler's got better. I wouldn't say that, but I don't understand.
But they're 4-6.
Yeah,
But lost 5 straight. And I can remember years when we were 8-1, went nowhere, gave up 29 points because of Gardner. My senior year, we were 9-0. You know, we had to wait till the last game of the year between McKeesport and West Mifflin North to see if we were going to play in the championship game. And we were undefeated at that time. So as long as Butler stays in District 10, this would be like the movie From Here to Eternity. They're going to play McDowell every year for the championship.
Every year.
Every year. So, but
Erie's the one that coach. The guy said, "We're going to have the coin flip." The guy said, "We can't flip it yet. The coach isn't here." I mean, I can only take it so seriously.
Exactly.
If you're not at the game when they flip the coin. I'm sorry.
All you have to do, there's only 3 6A teams, and all you have to do is win one game. You're in the championship.
Absolutely.
So now the question is this: what will District 10 do next year? Do they invite Butler back, say you're welcome back, or they say we don't want you here anymore?
Well, you got to figure Erie is upset.
They've been there 100 years.
There's a team 80 miles away taking their spot in the playoffs.
And that's the way they handle it. That's the way I handle it. If Georgia said,
yeah,
I'd meet up there with the AD and say, "We don't want them back." I can't believe it. They knocked one of our teams out of the playoffs. We should be playing.
Right, and they shouldn't be in either. But
So next year, here's a scenario possibly. Say District 10 says to Butler, "We don't want you." So now Butler has a choice. Go back to District 7. That means they got to play Central Catholic, North Allegheny.
They're not doing that.
Mount Lebanon, Seneca Valley. Okay, well, just let me finish it.
Go.
Plus, they have to play 4 5A teams. You know they're going to play Pine Richland.
Sure.
Penn Hill's probably Gateway.
Yeah,
Butler's going to say no. So now they're left with this. They make their own independent schedule.
That's what I see happening.
Which they struggle.
Yeah.
They'll be lucky to get 7 games.
Absolutely.
Very
I
lucky.
never thought of that.
Well, no, see,
No, it's hard to get.
Once the whippeal starts,
I never thought of that.
you lose
You're
their
done.
team. See, Holliesburg's doing that now, and it's tough.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never thought of that, Eddie.
Yeah, that's and then I heard this. You guys tell me. Someone said they should move Butler down. They're only 80 boys over the 6A requirement. I just, how do you answer that?
Yeah, it's simple. You are who you are.
I mean,
whatever division
what's
you're in.
Aliquippa have 90
that means
boys?
That means you have to move 50,000 teams.
Yeah.
I mean, all the rest of the
What's
teams.
Aliquippa have 90 boys?
geez.
9 through 12.
I haven't said a word. You notice I didn't say a word. I'm just
You're smart.
stunned that you know what's to keep next year. Let's say Laurel doesn't have quite the team they have.
Right.
They called down and said, "We want to play in District 10 this year. We want to beat up Sharpsville."
Well, the Butler Eagle editorial page said this is not the way to decide who makes the playoffs by the court.
No, it's not.
All right, let's move on. Girls volleyball playoffs, the semis. North Allegheny 17-0 against Penn Trafford. Pine Richland 14-2 against Seneca Valley. So we're going to have an all-area championship. And in 3A, North Catholic 15-1. They take on Thomas Jefferson 17-1. This will be a battle.
You guys saw it at A and North Catholic.
Yeah.
Can anybody beat either one of them? George says no. Okay.
I don't think NA. I don't think NA. They haven't lost a set.
Okay,
North
okay.
Catholic they have so much depth.
That's why I didn't. I didn't
Yeah.
think there was anybody could beat them. Like if I was a gambling man, I should put my money on.
I mean,
those two teams.
they're first
generally, there's a team up in the hinterland, not 6A,
Okay.
but 2
Right.
or 3A that can play volleyball, like up there around.
So North Catholic could be beat. You're saying?
I'm saying it's
Maybe
possible.
it's possible.
Man, they look good.
But Albert, their first three lines in front of the net, they must average what, George? 5'11".
They hit that ball.
They're
too.
they're all big.
They hit it.
And then Freeport, perennial power, 19-2. They take on Quaker Valley, 17-3.
Well, they're good too.
Yeah,
we
they're
hear a
very
lot
good
about
too.
them.
Never forget about Freeport and volleyball.
Never.
Or
And-
Quaker Valley.
Oh, okay. I didn't know Quaker Valley was good in volleyball. Okay.
And in boys soccer, WPIL 4A, Seneca Valley 17-0-1 versus Fox Chapel. How about Butler 13-4-2? They take on Pine Richland. Butler with an upset over the number 2 seed Peters Township, beating them 1-0. District 9 1A championship with Karn City versus Elk County Catholic. And in girls soccer 4A semis, boy, this was a tough one. North Allegheny 18-1 beat Seneca Valley 3-2. Just Seneca Valley's second loss of the year.
Wow.
And 3A semis, it'll be Mars 16-0 versus Latrobe. 2A semis, North Catholic 14-1 versus Avonworth. And once again, District 9 1A, it'll be Karn City versus Brockway, their 15th straight championship appearance.
That's awesome.
Well, let's go our stories of the week. We're not surprised. Eagles 35, Steelers 13. Let me say this. Going into the game, here's where the Steelers are ranked. Offensively, 298 yards a game. They were 30th out of 32 teams. And defensively, giving up 394 yards a game, now over 400. They're 29th in the NFL. So should we have expected a different outcome here? I don't think anyone was surprised.
No, I think since the game, now I think they're actually last in all offensive categories, 32nd.
Are they not last? Jalen Hurts, he made it look so easy, 19 of 28 for 285 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 to A.J. Brown, 6 for 156 yards. The Steelers secondary was shredded. Witherspoon got benched. And Minka Fitzpatrick, a number of times, he had bad angles on the receivers. There was no safety help for any of the receivers there. Miles Sanders, he could have run for maybe 200 yards. He carried 9 times for 78 yards.
Well, it is what it is. I never thought they were any good in the first place. And
Right.
And when you lose T.J. Watt, you understand that the whole game's about pass rushing, and they have no chance without him.
Yeah.
I mean, because he changes the whole game for them.
And I agree with you. There are only 2 defensive players on the team I would take, and that's Cam Hayward and T.J. Watt.
Yeah, T.J. Watt's that great.
I think Minka Fitzpatrick is overrated.
Yeah, he is.
I really
watching
do.
They all look good when Watt's playing, though. They all look good when he's playing.
Yeah.
Chris Carter yesterday, completely absent of facts, said they spent all their money on offense. Quite the contrary, they spent all their money on defense.
$108 million. They're number 1
Yeah.
in defense. Now Kenny Pickett, 25 of 30, 191 yards. He was sacked 6 times, averaged a little over 5 yards a play, where Hurst averaged 10 yards. Let me say this about Pickett. I like his grit. I think he's a leader. I really question about his arm strength and being able to throw over the top of NFL defenses. That's where I
don't
am
know
with
that
him.
yet. I don't know that. I just know that
I see that.
when you're rushed like he is, and he's throwing off his back foot all the time. It's the most difficult thing without an offensive line.
So their only touchdown pass came out of the Wildcat. So when you have this bye week, do you put in
There's nothing to put in.
desperate time? Do you put in more Wildcat?
You have to
What are
find
you
out.
gonna
You
do?
know, I just read this too.
There's nothing to put in.
Everyone's acting like they're going away to like some retreat.
Resort, yeah.
You know, they have to. The league mandates 5 days off. They're not coming in until Thursday anyway.
Maybe they should go to retreat through a monastery and get this
No,
figured out.
They're just not good right now.
He
That's all.
said it, they're not. I thought they were better than they are.
No.
You know, it's like Pickett. Yesterday, he walks off the stage. The guy says to him, he said, "You think you're taking too many chances, the risk-reward thing." He goes, "Anytime I can make a play," he said, okay. And he goes, "Is that it?" And he walked off. He's used to that Pitt treatment,
But
where everybody pats him on the
Now,
back.
I know he's a rookie, but then again, everyone felt he was the spark.
Oh.
But his decision making comes into question too.
And Al said, Al said something the other day. Who'd they win the 2 games with?
Right. And they say, oh, they rushed for 144. It was better. No, it was not in this regard. They got a lot of junk yards rushing because there were times it was 3 and 20 and they ran a ball and got 9 or 10 yards. But when they needed to run the ball, they couldn't run it. And how about the stuff some of the players are saying? Najee Harris saying we're lacking in all areas, and Pickett said we're not focusing enough. There's no discipline. Well, that goes back to the head guy.
It's such a joke.
That goes back
when you
to
lose,
the head
you
guy.
lose your point.
But why would a rookie? Why wouldn't he just shut up?
When you win, that's
I don't know what he thinks he's doing. Did you see what they did? They put on Instagram pictures of him being sacked by the guy that they traded to the Eagles. 3 of them.
And I heard this about Pat Fryermuth, 6'6", 258. He gets a poor grade for blocking. Let me ask, how can you be 6'6", 258 a tight end and not be a good blocker? That's all about desire.
He even never was. He was a lousy blocker at Penn State too.
Well,
He's a receiver.
He doesn't want to block.
He's a receiver.
But then they better get someone in there. That line can't block him. I watched the Bengals last night. I think their offensive line is just as bad as the Steelers.
Yeah.
So Tomlin now 19, 21-1 without Ben. We talked about that. They get a bye week and the Saints come in. And there's an old Chinese proverb: if you don't move forward against the current, you will fall back. So where are they going?
Well, Saints will beat them too.
Saints is pretty good
I don't
defense.
even think about it. I don't even think about it. I don't think the Steelers are any good right now.
So do you trade some players at this point? You make some trades. You see what the Bears did. They traded their best defensive
the
end.
Ravens got a good defender.
He leads the NFL, Raquan Smith, in tackles. Baltimore beat Tampa Bay 27-22. So you look at the AFC Central. Baltimore 5-3, Cincy 4-4. They got blown out by the Browns 32-13. So Cleveland 3-5, Steelers 2-6.
It's just the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Just the way.
and the Browns are disappointing.
Just talked about it before the season
They
started.
can't catch the Browns, can
And
they?
the Browns are disappointing.
Pittsburgh can't finish out of the Browns, can they?
It's shocking.
Yeah. Hey, the surprise team of the year: Seattle 27, the Giants 13, 5-3 Seattle. What a job Pete Carroll's done there.
Coach of the year.
Yeah. And congratulate Pete, Bill Belichick. They beat the Jets 13 straight time, 22-17. His 325th win. He moves ahead of George Halas, only behind Shula with 347.
13
It's a lot of
straight.
wins.
Yeah.
How about 13 straight?
13.
The Jets, you have to admit, Sunday, a lot of people thought this is their day.
Yeah.
And they just squandered it.
So I get down through my power rankings.
Oh, I can't stop you.
Yeah.
See, I always get you on this one.
Yeah.
But you didn't know this, I know. But you mentioned Tomlin without Belichick's 18 games under 500 without Brady.
Yeah.
So
Well, I read several of them.
So, but I'm saying-
I read one. There are two.
I know I'm a Tomlin guy.
Right.
but
There are two disparities.
You
there.
win with
One-
quarterbacks.
One,
That's what you
one
win with.
Belichick's 37-38. The other is he's 55-61. But then again, Chuck Knowles 88-100 without Bradshaw.
No, I just said.
Yeah.
But you got to mention them all.
My point is this: who wins without a
Nobody.
great quarterback?
That's the part.
Okay,
That's
let's
the
go.
part I'm making to you.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So I have my rankings. Buffalo, you guys jump in. Buffalo, they're at the Jets next, or they have the Jets at home. And then the Eagles, I have at number 2. They're at Houston. Kansas City matches up with Tennessee. The Vikings play Washington. Then I have Dallas, Baltimore, the Giants, Miami, Seattle, and the 49ers. And the disappointments to me, the Raiders and the Browns are the biggest disappointments.
Raiders really are.
You know who's headed that way? The Rams.
Raiders.
The Rams, too.
They won the Super Bowl.
They're beat up. They're all
Their
offensive
offensive
out.
line is
Yeah.
terrible.
Man, they look, oh my goodness.
Hey, moving on to
By the
college.
way, I just want to say the
Yeah.
team that I look for there, the one I want to say ahead of time, is Dallas. I think Dallas.
I like
is
their-
I
yeah,
think
defense.
they're really dangerous.
But-
Really dangerous.
But now, once again, quoting Belichick, nothing happens till after.
It's true.
The second, it's true. Second
You
half
know,
of
there
the
was a
season.
play. You mentioned Dallas. I have to say this. This guy, now he's been in the league several years, the quarterback for the Bears. He throws an INT, and he runs up to get into play, and instead of touching the guy, he jumps over him. The guy
Right.
gets off the ground and runs 50 yards.
Yeah.
Now, you mean to tell me he doesn't know you have to touch him down?
they don't know. That's the problem, and that's
Isn't
Don't know, don't want to know.
Yeah,
Hey,
don't
college
wanna know.
football, North Carolina 42, undefeated Pitt 24.
They are undefeated.
Pitt led 24-14, and North Carolina, their quarterback, Drake May, what did he put up? 430 yards of
Child
offense,
abuse, second
28 unanswered points, and Pitt's quarterback, Keaton Slovis, only completed 45% of his passes. Before the game, Narduzzi said, we're not 4-3, we're undefeated, no one has beaten us but ourselves.
Yeah.
Despite losses to Tennessee, Georgia Tech, 26, and Louisville, to 10. That's like when I played. Nobody ever blocked me. I blocked myself.
That's the quote of the year, it really is.
Yeah.
It is.
And you'll notice, though, that they really miss. They have no wide receivers. And they have 0 wide receivers. When you come from Akron to Pitt, they were talking about how this guy's going
Drop
to
in
be
the
good.
portal.
And the defense.
See, and they're really brave,
and the
but they got
defense
something.
and the defense is terrible. The defense is terrible. Hey, doesn't Pitt have one of the best medical schools in the country?
Yes.
Can't they get someone to help Narduzzi? Some his psych
I don't know if they have
department?
mental. They have mental psych department. I don't know.
Wow.
You know what's funny, Ed? We had Phil Steele on the show, and he raved about both their lines. Didn't he, Al?
Yes, he did.
Raved about them.
They're-
They're on a good
They have
on
not done
either
it.
side.
They
They've
have not
been
done it.
shredded defensively. Now, our friend Jerry DePaula said, with 4 games left, Pitt risks suffering the ultimate indignity of regressing to those mediocre years before Narduzzi. Jerry, I love you, but come on. Aside of last year's 11-3, Narduzzi has perfected mediocrity.
Kenny Pickett. He owes Kenny Pickett a lifetime. That's what he has.
Here's down through the years. Narduzzi 8-5, 8-5, 5-7, 7-7, 8-5, 6-5, 11-3, and now 4-4.
I think that's who they are, though, and I've said it on this show many times.
Yeah.
When they get 8 wins, that's a good year for Pitt. That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That's
Ken
average.
was an aberration.
Pickett.
Yeah.
Pickett.
Right.
And then he stayed because of Whipple.
And
He
Addison.
fired Whipple the next day. That's the best part about it. He wasn't even grateful for Whipple.
Hey, number 13, Slippery Rock University, 31, Clarion, nothing. Quarterback Noah Grover, 440 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. And junior receiver Kyle Sheets, 6'4", 215. He piled up 206 receiving yards. Next up, Edinburgh at home, 1 o'clock. Slippery Rock 8-1, 5-1. Now a 3-way tie
Yeah,
because
Gannon beat
Gannon shredded
IUP.
IUP 43-36. So you have a 3-way tie there. The Rock's rolling.
That's the coach. That's the coach everybody should go after. Coach Lutz. I'm telling you, they're so much better defensively now, and offensively they're really good.
Yeah,
Yeah, they've been
he's
good
done a
forever
great job.
offense.
Hey, that's it for us. We've run out of time. We will see you next week.
From high school sports to community events and beyond, you can find all of your favorite local shows on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Hi, I'm Tricia from the Butler Buzz. You can watch my show or other local programming like Up for Adoption or Hunting Nostalgia, only on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Check us out right now on Channel 100 or search Armstrong Neighborhood Channel on YouTube for playlists and much more. Spirit, town pride, community. This is the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.